good afternoon my YouTube friends, it's Margaret here from M.E.s Orchids and I'm in the grow room and it's absolutely sweltering in this little bedroom here. We've got the humidifier blasting away out here. It's 26.5 degrees centigrade and it's 76% humidity, and I dread to think what it is outside because we're expecting temperatures in Crewe this afternoon to reach 29°C, and we've got possibly 30°C tomorrow, and we've got this hot weather for the next few days. So luckily I'm on holiday this week, and but when it's hot like this, we don't go outside. It's just far too hot. We go out in the evening. So the reason I brought you into the grow room today is just to show you some of the phals that I've had in this kind of water culture. And this one here, this is the no ID, and if I just be careful and just show you. And this one, I've just lifted the camera stand up, and this one's got a spike, but if you'll notice there, I've got a cottonwood tip here, because what happened is that I was trying to reach one of the orchids that's on a mount, and I heard a crack, and now that was last week, and it's continued to grow. There's a slight dent there, and I quickly got the sellotape round that little cottonwood stick here, and it seems to be fine. So I'm going to put that on one side now, and this one I've not cut these other spikes off yet. You'll see here and here. That one might just have a little bit of dieback now, and she's got roots growing in that crystal vase there, and she sits up on that top shelf. So this one hasn't been cleaned at all, and I'm just going to put this one down here now, just behind me, so I don't knock that nice inflorescence. Now this one here, I'm just going to show you now. This has been here we go. This has got another inflorescence, and if I pick up the stand, I'll be able to show you. And it's growing there. And this is one that I put in one of these open baskets. You can see there now, and she's been watered this morning, and she's also been fed. And if you look, there's a slight residue of water just in that little container. And if I gently put the stand back now, I have to be very careful with this one because these inflorescences are so delicate, and I have to be, when I come into water, I have to remember where they all are, because otherwise I'm inclined to knock and crack them. Right, so I'll lift the next one down, and this is the one of the three sisters. And this is the one that I put into this vase. And let me just turn around, and she's got these beautiful white blooms, and those are very heavy, but she's fine. I put her into this glass vase here with a little bit of decorative gravel. She's got one leaf here that looks as though it's going to die back. Now I'm not terribly worried about that. Let me just lift her up so I can show you those roots. I'm not that worried about that leaf, because at the end of the day it must be, well, my mum's been passed nearly 3.5 years, so it's got at least 3.5 years old, this plant. And you can see down there, I don't know whether you'll see, there's just a small residue of water, and you see there now. And now she's got one root actually down in there, and you can see where it's hydrating itself. And I've got some water here just to show you what I do, and that's it. Oh, you just heard one of those decorative stones just fall from her. So let's just have a look now and see whether or not you'll be able to see through. So she's maybe got about 1/4 of an inch of water, and with humidity in here now, there isn't any need to hydrate her anymore. I can just have to be careful of that nice big flower because I don't want to damage that. But you'll see that huge leaf that she's given me this time. And this one just sits back up here on the shelf. And the next one I'm going to bring you down. Now this is the one that had the keiki, and again this one's been watered this morning. And I did want to ask my viewers if let me just show you. I have to just be careful because they've been watered and they're in this tray. They've been watered and they've been fed. And this one was in a glass vase, and I moved her over into this open type basket. And that's the one that had the keiki. And what I was thinking, I'm not brave enough yet to do it, but what I was thinking is that now she's left with just one leaf, and this is the mama plant here, and this is the, if you like, the keiki. And so there's the rhizome here, and that's the keiki, and the keiki's got its own roots. And I'm just wondering at some point, I mean I don't want to do it now because these, you can see these other roots here are hydrating here, but at some point that could be, I suppose, once that leaf's died, that's just like the old rhizome, it's serving no purpose except it's got these roots which are hydrating, and perhaps while those roots are hydrating, it is sustaining the other part of the plant. So I don't know yet whether I'll ever detach it, but she's doing very, very well, and I'll put her back up here. Oh dear, that wasn't very good of me. I've splashed water everywhere. And now this is the one that I did yesterday. And can you just see in that vase? And I've just managed to pull her back with a little bit of ribbon. And this is the same Phalaenopsis as the big white one that you've just seen there. And I'm hoping now that at some point she might start to send a flower inflorescence out. See, she's still hydrated, so this one's had no water yet, and I'll check her again tomorrow. So that one goes back up on the shelf there. This is the one that I put into my original one, and I cleaned the vase, and I put her into styrofoam peanuts here, instead of putting the decorative gravel back. And you can see I've just introduced that small amount of water, hardly any, and I don't know whether she will allow me just to slightly tip her, and Let me just show you. I can probably show you better that way. See, those are the roots, and underneath, that's just that little bit of dirt that was left there, but that one's doing fine, no problem at all. And I'll just put her little tag back and just clip it on with that little butterfly clip, and she'll go back over here now. And this is another one. Now this big one here is giving me a new leaf there, and you'll see that this one did have a flower inflorescence, and which I cut back, but I've left that partial part, and the reason for me doing that is to allow the goodness to die back naturally. So I'm going to just gently lift this one out, because there's no water left at the bottom there, and so since she's gone in here, can you see that root there? She's got that root there, and she's got that root there coming there, and it's a good time when you're able to lift them out. I'll just go out of shop for the moment and come back with a pair of scissors and just to nip that there. There we go. And so this one, as you can see, there's a little dead bit there. Now the Newsner ornament, that isn't. So that one there might have had a growing tip at one time, and I don't know what happened to that one, but never mind. I'm going to just cut that little bit off, and there it is. Cut back there, and you can see there's green. And this one just sits in this open vase here, and as you can see, there's absolutely no water at all in there, and it's just sustaining itself at the moment with the high humidity. I'm pumping this up now, and here we go. People often ask me, you know, this is full waterculture, this is semi-waterculture, and I say I don't label anything. I have some fells that are mounted, I have some fells that are in bark, I have some fells that are in vases, and I don't label anything. It's just the way I grow. You're not going to see in there now. And I don't wish to emulate anybody else who's growing their orchids in whichever method they decide. This, at the moment, this suits me, and the orchids are very happy. So I'm just listening to the orchids, and if they're happy, I just leave them alone. This is the Phalaenopsis that that friend, that colleague, gave to me, because this poor thing was virtually dead, and I've had this a few weeks, maybe several months now, and it's just got a little residue of water there at the bottom, and these leaves are now fully hydrated, and it's given me that new leaf there. Sorry about that, I'm just gone out of focus. So this one's doing fine, it's very happy. Likewise, we've got this big one here. You'll notice in there now, this is in lava rock, and let's have a look. Don't think there's any of those roots yet that have actually gone through now and anchored down. But you can see that those roots are fine. There's no water left at all. And if you look down there, she's got, let me just see if I can tip her. She's got active new roots, and if I tip round this way as well, she's got a new root there. This one won't get watered today. There's actually no need to water this. I'll look at this tomorrow or Thursday, but it certainly won't get watered today. There's no need to water that. And I'll get the last one that I've got in one of these vases, and there we are. This one's got a residue of water at the bottom, still got some bark adhered to it, and at some point, not just yet, I will take that bark off. But whether you can see in there, she's got lovely active roots, and this one really suffered, and I don't know why. I must have at one point not kept it happy, but now it's just romping away. And I'm going to pick up the stand now and just see if I can just show you some of the others now. See that one there now? That hangs on the window, and that's in bark and got a little bit of sphagnum on the top. That's, if I just lift this one out, this is what I forgot, and this is one of the others. This is one of the three sisters, and she sent out that lovely leaf, and let's just have a look. Can you see down there now? She's got active new roots coming, and there doesn't look as though there's any water. Let's just turn around. She's got active roots there. There. Can you see in that vase there? And she's got this huge big active aerial root there. So again, I'm going to use the pump spray and just spray those roots. You can always tell when they need watering, because when you actually do the if you do water them when they're bone dry, it's like when you water outside in the garden. You can smell them, and it's a lovely smell. So let's just have a look now how much water I've got in there. See, not too much, just enough to keep them hydrated. And see, these are some of the others. Now these are in a bark medium, and they're doing well. That's in bark. That one over there is in bark. And if I go over this way, let's have a look. This is the inflorescence of that big one there. Can you see? This is the one that's, now the light's going to be against me, isn't it? That's that one that's always in flower, this little mini. And, oh sorry, I'm just banging. That sits there in front of the window. And that's that big one there. in the corner. That's got those buds coming there. And if I take you down here and look into that corner, those two are the ones that are on mounts. So let's have a look at the temperatures now, because I've been in here and it's gone up to 26.9 and it's 88% humidity. Sweat's absolutely pouring off me. It's really, really warm in here. And I don't think there's anything else in the sense of Phalaenopsis, except of course this is my little species one, and this is little Phalaenopsis parishii. And let's just have a look at her. She's got some nice little roots there. Can you see? Unfortunately with the light. And so she's doing really well. And I'll just, if I can just manage to bring this one over again without damaging anything. I have to be so careful. And this is Phalaenopsis. There we go. This is Hieroglyphica, and this one's in this little basket here, and she's been watered. She had a root there that stalled and then's now started to grow, and out of that she's branching another little root. She's got this nice growing tip here, and she just sits inside that little crystal vase. So once you get the conditions right, then your orchids will actually romp away. I'm so thrilled. It's taken me such a long time, and if I just what I'm trying not to do is bump you, and I wanted just to bring this one up for you. This is the Thunia Bensonii, and this is one that I got in the last lot from Curleen Orchidine. And if you remember, it had a little bit of rot down there on that cane. And we have a look here. It's planted in sphagnum moss and orchiata bark, and she's doing fine. And can you see that bud? Hopefully that bud's going to open. And let's just have a look there. See, you have to be careful. Can you just see that little bit of rotting there? So when I've come off camera now, I'm going to check that out. I don't think it's anything and nothing, but I'll certainly have to check that out. This is why you've always got to be so careful. Can you see there now? I mean, I had that rot at the bottom, didn't I? And that's been fine, that's cleared. So I need to check that one out now. This is the other dendrobium, and I'll show you. This is Dendrobium Adae, and it's got that lovely new growth, and this is lovely. This is romping away now, and let me just show you. Hopefully I won't knock everything over. This is the other dendrobium that's been on that mount, and that's the one pseudo, I'll remember it in a minute. Let's have a look if it's on here. There we go. And that's the other part. And that little bit there has started to grow, so Now these were watered last night, and they're due to be watered later today. So and this one just sits on the shelf here, just hangs there in a very convenient place. And this little one here is the Dendrobium pendulum, and that was the one that came in coconut husk. And if you look now, see that leaf there and that leaf there, they came like that, and they're a little bit chewed, and it's grown this leaf and this leaf. So I'm very, very chuffed about that, and that just sits there in that little vase minding its own business. And like I say, at the moment everything is responding to the highlight we've got, and look at the roots on that, roots everywhere, and a very healthy plant. This one last year was riddled with scale, and I love it when they've got roots like that. And this is the Epicattleya Attilio Santa Maria, and beautiful roots on there, and that just sits over there. And these are of course the other dendrobiums here, and that's the unusual one, which is Plicatine. That's in lava rock there, and the beauty about putting them in this window here on this shelving is that of course they do face south, but because we've got the lip over the window, they don't actually get the direct sun unless I actually place these on the windowsill. They're not actually getting direct sun. Sorry about the light, because it's awkward when I'm trying to film this way. And this is the Valco rostrum, and these are due to be watered tomorrow. So that's got a new growth there. You see, 2 new growths there, and I think this is the Chrysotoxum. Look at the new growth there, and that big new growth there. So everything is responding to this lovely humid environment that I've got them in. And even though it's not good for me, we're now gone to 27.1, and we now reached 89% humidity. So it's going to be a case of switching the humidifier off and getting the fan going at full blast. So thank you for joining me. Thank you to all my new subscribers, and take care, and we'll speak soon. Bye bye now.